I'm making some meatloaf. This is out of my cookbook that I've been working on myself for a few years. All these recipes are from scratch recipes that I came up with myself. And this is my Master Meatloaf. So, what you need is you're going to need a pack of meatloaf, some fresh cracked black pepper, salt, garlic powder. Normally I use garlic cloves, but I didn't realize I didn't have any garlic cloves until after I'd already opened up the pack of meatloaf. And you kind of got to use that, as soon as possible after opening it. Some Italian seasoning, some dill, and 2 large eggs. We're also going to need cheese and some crushed crackers. Okay, so we've got our ingredients measured out here. We've got uh, 4 teaspoons of salt. We've got 7 teaspoons of dill, 4 teaspoons of garlic powder, 3 teaspoons of Italian seasonings, and 3 teaspoons of fresh cracked black pepper. We've also got our 2 eggs, and we've got our crackers, which we're going to crush up here in a second. Just a quick note, when you're cracking your eggs, you never want to crack them directly into the bowl, because even if you just got them from the store that day, there's always that possibility one of them eggs ain't going to be no good, and that's going to ruin your whole batch. Now, the first thing, you always want to add your wet ingredients first. After you've added those wet ingredients, you're going to move on to your dry ingredients. Now, I'm just taking my fist and just crunching up these crackers. They ain't gotta be, little tiny chunks, anything like that. It doesn't matter if you have a couple of large chunks in there. Your crackers, you can use breadcrumbs, you can use oatmeal, crushed oatmeal. All that's going to be doing is that's going to be adding starch, and that starch is going to mix with them egg whites and help to bind everything together. So now we're going to add the black pepper, Italian seasonings, our dill, garlic powder, and salt. Now we're going to take and we're going to use our hands, and we're just going to, just mush. Alright, so all that's mixed up. Our oven's heated, ready to go. You always want to preheat your oven. And so now what we're going to do, I took me a piece of parchment paper here, put it out on my cutting board. I love this cutting board, by the way. My grandfather built it. He built this kitchen setup here, and he made a big, 2 foot by 3.5 foot cutting board built into the countertop itself. So what we're going to do here is, like I said, put this parchment paper down, and we're going to take our meatloaf and we're going to spread it out into a big rectangle, like a big old playing card. That way we can add our ingredients, like our cheese, and if I was using garlic, like whole cloves of garlic like I normally do, we'd add that in there as well. So go ahead, and I'm going to spread it out. I'm going to have to pause for this part and do the spreading and then get back to you, because I'm not exactly sure where my camera stand is right now, so can't really spread it out and hold the camera at the same time. Okay, so this is what the finished product's going to look like after we've got it all spread out. So now we're going to add the cheese. Now I just like to use a sharp cheddar. And when you're adding the cheese, it's not really a set amount. It's just kind of one of them add to taste kind of deals. Now, what you do want to make sure though is you don't want it all in one spot. You want to spread it all out, uh, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna roll this thing up like you'd roll a cigarette. So now we've got that all spread out. And one ingredient that I left out intentionally this time, because part of this meatloaf is going to my grandmother, and she's got a pretty sensitive stomach. But the secret ingredient, I guess it won't be a secret anymore, but my key ingredient to my meatloafs that makes them just stand out from other meatloaf is I add, for however much ground beef I add 1/4 of that amount in ground sausage. And you wouldn't believe the difference that makes. It's delicious. So what we do for the rolling is we take it and we just kind of roll that over like that. That's where one of the places where this parchment paper really comes in handy. We're gonna roll it like that, and we're gonna keep rolling it until we've got a lot. Okay, now that we've got this rolled into a log like this, what we're gonna do is, you see this seam right here. We want that seam to be on the bottom. That way everything seals. Alright? Now we're gonna just kinda use the blade of our hand, and we're gonna pinch off and seal those ends so none of that cheese escapes. Alright? Now the next part is we're gonna take some water. Alright, we're gonna take some cold water, dip our hand in it, and we're just gonna run it over. And what that does is that water emulsifies your fats and your oils, and that's gonna seal up any holes, and that's gonna keep all your juices and your cheese, everything like that. That's gonna keep all that in there. So we're gonna do that. Make sure all them holes close up, and you don't have to put any pressure when you're doing this. All that cold water is doing is some of them oils and fats are coming out, are getting drawn out by that water, and they're mixing with the water, making an emulsion, and that's sealing up all your holes. And then when that starts to cook, them fats and everything, they'll crisp them holes closed. Okay, so now we've got that done. Next, we're gonna gently take this thing and we're gonna put it on the center of our parchment paper here. Alright, any cracks that form, you want to seal them back up. And once we're on the center of our parchment paper, we'll make sure the whole thing's uniform. It's not, not too difficult to do. It's gonna be that way for the most part anyway, because of the way that we spread it out. Then we're gonna take that and we're gonna slide it onto a sheet pan. Once we're up on the sheet pan, see it had a little crack form there. You just close that crack back up. Everything fits in there perfectly. Now we're gonna take this beautiful meatloaf. We got our oven set at 350. It's preheated, and we can go ahead and slide that off in there. And we're gonna set our timer for uh, for about 45 to 50 minutes. So it's very important to preheat your oven. That helps in keeping the juices and everything in there. So we're gonna let that cook. We're gonna take a look at it. We're gonna take it out, let it cool for about probably 5 or 10 minutes, and then we're gonna cut it and see what we got. Okay, so we've taken it out the oven. We've let it cool down for about 10 minutes. I'm made a few slices here. So we're gonna open it up. And let me see that cheese in there, just looking all kinds of delicious. So hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. God bless y'all, and y'all have a good day.